Alright, I should be back. Am I alive? We'll see if that fixed it. Hold on, I have to fucking tell this student that they don't need to turn in their shit at exactly 1:59. Help me. I've never in my life. Hey, we did it. Okay, hopefully this will just stay stable now. It might have just needed a hard reboot. I have never in my life. I fucking cannot. I need to lay down. Like, what the fuck? Alright. I'm so glad that I can be a teacher because without this, my income would be nothing and I would not be able to pay my rent, but sometimes I wonder. You are the Cheese King! Oh my god. How does it feel to be the Cheese King? I'm just concerned. You know, I'm concerned for the younger generation. I'm concerned for the kids because, like, legit, I have never in my life. You'd think that, like, by being raised on the internet and by being in the, like, technology age that people would know that if you see the word deadline, that means that you need to turn the assignment in before that point. Not you need to turn the assignment in at exactly that time. Like, that makes zero sense to me. I just... I worry. Yeah, it's bad. And I recognize this particular student could have English as a second language issue, so, like, I am willing to explain to somebody that, like, that's, you know, it's okay, you don't have to stress out, like, you'll be fine. You know, you don't need to, like, turn it in at exactly that time. You need to turn it in before, because it may just be like, oh, I misunderstood what the directions were, you know? Which makes sense. But sometimes that's not the case, and I'm like, bro, you... what? But yeah, it's really bad. I mean, I feel like watching that guy who went over effectively how the American education system is built for factory work and it just doesn't fucking function anymore because we obviously are not sending kids to go be assembly line workers 24/7 like they're in a world of AI and those jobs will likely become obsolete and replaced by robots anyway, so they need better critical thinking skills. I thought that his explanation was the best and his focus was more on social and emotional learning and on critical thinking than on fact regurgitation, as he so aptly put it. And I'm like, if we don't teach our kids this shit, they're cooked. Like, these are the kids that are also going to TikTok and asking questions instead of using Google. So I'm like, I'm genuinely concerned. I just want all of you guys to replace my students. Can we do that? Can I just teach you guys instead? Let's not ask TikTok and AI. Well, and it's like, it's crazy, like, not to bring up an incredibly morbid and really tragic topic, but there was a kid that just OD'd because he took medical advice from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was like, yeah, you can take X amount of medication, and he died. Yeah. So I'm like, I wish that these kids knew that, like, AI is not as smart as they market it to be. And it was like, you know, an innocent question because he needed to take medication for one reason or another, and it fucking killed him. You know, so instead of doing something like, you can call a free nurse line, for example, here in Colorado, or call an urgent care and just ask the person on the phone. You don't need to pay any money for that. You know, you can just ask them and ask what the correct dosage is. Instead of doing that, you know, now this tragedy happened, and it's like, this is 100% fucking preventable. Like, is what I don't know. I'm like, can the parents sue ChatGPT, OpenAI, and the answer is probably not. Because OpenAI has this little thing at the very bottom of it, and it says shit like, ChatGPT, here it is right here, ChatGPT can make mistakes, check important info. And so that alone, that one statement alone, is enough to prevent those parents from getting justice and suing OpenAI because they covered their asses. And they can go into court and they can say, oh, well, we said on our website that it makes mistakes. Your kid shouldn't have been doing that. And it's a liability thing, you know? Like, all companies here in the United States do it. And so it doesn't necessarily make OpenAI evil more than, at least, I guess, corporations in the United States are evil, which we get that. That's a whole other fucking topic, is like, corporations are evil, you know, that's typically the way that goes. But like, that's, yeah, they want to cover their own asses so that way if somebody does something like this, and like chat or character.ai does the same thing where it says that, like, this is an AI, you're not speaking to a human, do not take anything it says as fact, because kids have killed themselves over character.ai as well. So it's like, they're trying to do everything that they can to avoid any kind of repercussions, rather than being responsible and doing something like coding the AI. So for example, you could fix this really easily by making it so that if somebody asks medical advice into ChatGPT, you could code it to very reasonably say and respond back, I'm sorry, I am not a licensed practitioner and cannot give medical advice. Please contact your doctor. That's it. That's all that they need to do in order to avoid this. But instead, people are now having what they're calling ChatGPT psychosis, where if you have people who are already mentally unstable, they turn to ChatGPT to ask it questions, and then it does weird shit like suggesting to go fucking climb the outside of Buckingham Palace to assassinate King Charles. Rather than be like, hey, I'm not a therapist and you need to go to a clinical health provider. And to some extent, the bot does cover its own ass. Like, I've definitely... but it's almost overly apologetic. Does that make sense? Where it's almost like if you're having issues, it's like, don't freak out, don't kill yourself. And you're like, what the fuck? I was like asking about like symptoms of like withdrawal comparatively to like one thing for another for like research. Why is your first response as the bot to tell me to not fucking kill myself? Like, that's a really weird thing for you to say. It's just very, very weird. And it makes me very sad that these kids are having to navigate this shit. And I'm glad that I got to, like, grow up with the tech slowly so that I know what to look for. But, like, I feel like young kids don't have that. They don't fucking know. They're just stuck. Because there's some softwares that do it super, super well, like Replica, the therapy AI, is there to de-escalate situations, but when situations get too severe, the bot knows that it needs to connect you to emergency services. You know, it's like it's almost like self-aware in that way, where if you start to do things like prove that you're a risk to yourself or others, it'll stop you from doing that, and it'll direct you to an emergency helpline. But like ChatGPT is not that bot. You know, it's like, holy shit. Hey Aqua, I hope school's going okay. Hopefully you're not dying. I hope you were able to get up today okay. Holy shit. I was up until 2 in the morning last night working on a backer kit campaign. Actually, this mouth is too passive. Oh god, you're like, I could not. You're like, I did not survive. Oh no. I'm sorry you watched your life flash before your eyes. Oh my god, we were literally just talking about how shitty AI is, actually. And it has its uses. It's just I need these companies to stop fucking marketing it like it's effectively Jesus Christ. It's the next best thing since sliced bread. Because truly, what it's good for is organizing shit, writing marketing copy, and providing basic research. And then if you have access to advanced models, and that's like a big if you have access to advanced models, you can use it in fields like medicine and science and maths to solve incredibly complex issues on accident, which is pretty fucking sick. But for literally everything else, I'm like, please stop fucking using it. Like, it's just ass. For the love of all things good in this world. Yeah, exactly. Some things you need the LLMs for, and we're moving very quickly. Like, I mean, I think a lot of people don't realize that we have a lot of artificial intelligence in a lot of stuff already anyway. Like, I know people get on video game developers, for example, for having, quote, AI teams, and it's like, y'all realize that that's how enemies have functioned since video games were made, right? They call it an AI because that's how the NPCs work, you know what I mean? And for military, for stuff like that, or for specific types of software, absolutely. Like, there are definitely applications for it. Yeah, you either have AI or 20 very intelligent people of my dad's caliber. Exactly. Well, and most importantly, in these STEM fields, like in the sciences and the maths and medicine, you have people who are qualified double checking the work of the AI, right? When the AI says, oh, I actually discovered that this drug can be used in another application other than what we're using it for, so you could use it to, for example, treat Alzheimer's or something, right? Then scientists have to go, oh, okay, well, I don't know if that's true, but we're going to test it. They don't just say, oh, ChatGPT says that Tylenol can be used to cure Alzheimer's, so I'm just going to take a shitload of Tylenol. Like, they don't do that. They have to then, at that point, test it. And where we're at is that regular people don't understand that that's what has to be done. If ChatGPT says something, you have to question it. You can't just take it at face value. But good luck in math class, speaking of math. Hopefully you are better at math than me, because fuck, man, I am bad at math. I got dyscalculia like fucking crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing until I was an adult. I just thought I was stupid as shit, but nope. Turns out the ADHD'd and then fucking went really hard and I had no idea. I didn't know. I HD'd the fuck out of that. Look at that fucking perspective. You know, I'll leave it. I was like, this is a little warped, but to be honest, it's alright. Oh my god, why are we flipping around? Why is this happening to me? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I worry about the youths. That's all I gotta say is I worry about them. And I'm not... Look at how fucked up this foot is! What the fuck happened to this toe? Daz was like, would you like a fucking monstrosity? They're like, Chinese foot binding is back in season. It's like, what the fuck is happening right now? This is horrifying. Also, I noticed that the modem has not decided that it's going to flip its shit in a hot second, so I think we're okay. I had to fix the toe, like, goddamn. This is why we don't trust anything, guys. Use your eyes. And it sucks because it makes you sound like an anti-technology boomer, you know what I'm saying? You're like, well, AI is shit, it can't be trusted, and then a bunch of tech bros are like, no, it's the fucking best, you're just stupid, and you just don't want to fucking adapt to the time. It's like, no, I want ChatGPT to not fucking tell me to kill myself is really what I want. Actually, would be fucking sick if we could figure that out. I want Grok to not undress children on your pedophile platform, that's really what I want. That would be sick, but, you know, we live in America, so... I'm not bitter. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking cope, because, like, the news the last couple of days here for the States has been literally so bad that I think people are actually to the point where we're, like, massively crashing out. And I'm not really sure, like, what we can do to kind of mitigate this from like a mental health and psychology standpoint. Yeah, and again, like I'm all cuz like I've been starting to have to delineate my my language around it because people I recognize are they're not very good at nuance. And so for example, when I talk about AI, I specifically state that I'm anti-generative AI to be very clear, right? So anything that's generating art, generating books, generating music, anything that's making a creative thing, 100% unacceptable to use that for, right? But other aspects of AI are useful. We just need to figure out how to actually fucking make it not shit. But there's a big difference between that and somebody being like, oh, I fucking love AI and I talk to ChatGPT fucking 14 hours a day. And you're like, are you good? Like, actually, from like a logistics standpoint, are you mentally okay? Because I don't think that you are, you know? And then there's also a difference, too, between people who are fucking hanging out and, like, chatting with, like, Character.ai chatbots for fun, you know, and it's, like, it's for entertainment purposes, and it's not really, like, that bad. And people who are like, I'm dating my AI boyfriend. You know, it's like, holy fuck, like, are you good? Yeah, I agree, Chips. It needs way more fucking, way more, like, or, like, at the very minimum, they need to par down the amount of information that it can give out. Like, if you want to have a software be able to, for example, solve basic math problems or make spreadsheets, make PowerPoints, like that kind of shit, sure, have those features active and available. Everything else needs to fucking go. Like, it can't function because people don't have the critical thinking skills to be able to safely navigate it from like an internet safety standpoint, and that's really where I think like we're not in a good place. And until people develop the skills or the wherewithal to be able to, like, I mean, I think about how it was when I was growing up. Like, we were on the internet for the very first time, you know, like shit was kind of crazy. And like, you know, my mom's biggest concern was that I was going to talk to a child predator effectively and like have bad shit. Like, I remember when I was a little kid, I opened up an AOL browser one time and like a website that we used got like probably hacked or something, and there was like bestiality porn all over the page. It was like really bad. Um and I remember my parents having to figure out how to navigate that situation where you have, it's like, okay, now how do I keep my kid safe? And what we learned was it's like there are just certain places you don't go, or like while the internet is still in that unstable state, you have to just wait until parents are in the room to be able to use it, you know, just so that they can make sure that it's a place that you can access without accidentally getting jumped by literally like fucking bestiality porn. And then eventually it got better, you know, so we're kind of in that growing pains state where it's like, it's not safe. The fact of the matter is that the tools and technology for especially children, it's not safe. Young people and adults can make their own decisions, you know, like, but then also too, people need to monitor their mentally unwell relatives. You know, if you have people who already suffer from psychosis or are on bipolar medication, you know, they probably should not be on ChatGPT because they're susceptible to delusions, and that's not necessarily a fault of theirs. It's just the fact. You know, it's like if you're mentally unwell in that way, that's just something that you have to watch out for. And ChatGPT fucking loves delusions. It loves to reinforce every single thing that you say to it, which is where we get to the guy being like, I'm going to storm the outside of Buckingham Palace and assassinate King Charles, and then the British police have to go and fucking pull him off the side of the building and be like, hey, you're not allowed to fucking assassinate King Charles. But he legitimately thought that that was something that he could do. He was like, that's fine. I can go and do that, and nothing bad is going to happen to me. Because ChatGPT said so, you know? And so it's like, how do we protect the most vulnerable members of our community? Because clearly they're the ones at risk. You know, I'm not at risk. For me, using ChatGPT, if I use it to fucking, like, last night I was using it to do a bunch of backer kit math because I'm not good at math, and I plugged in numbers into it and was like, hey, can you adjust these tiers so that way I'm not, like, fucking dying, you know? And it was able to figure it out, you know? So it's like, cool, I know I'm not at risk, but, like, an 11-year-old is at risk. So what the fuck is the government doing, or the companies doing, either way, whatever has to happen, like, what are they doing to prevent kids from being in danger? And the answer is right now, literally nothing. So until they can figure out regulations to make sure that kids are safe, then it's like it shouldn't be available. Because other countries have way safer laws around it, and they seem to be doing okay. It's just like, yeah, we're like in the Wild West right now. There's literally, it's the same problem we have with everything else. They're like, let's give every fucking 14-year-old a gun, and it's like, it's not safe. It's unregulated and it's not safe. Just because it's not legal for them to purchase a gun does not mean that their parents aren't giving it to them. You know, it's like, there are still places in the U.S. where you have to teach parents to not give their kids fucking cigarettes. You know, like, I think about that, and it's like, okay. Or places where they believe that, like, wearing a seatbelt is a government conspiracy. And so when we're faced with that kind of a population, it's like, I don't think ChatGPT is suitable for them. They are probably not going to survive. It's going to be really dangerous. It is a wild time, and I don't like it. I'm like, I just want to make my silly books and fucking draw comics and not worry about fucking all of this crazy shit. I would really like to just chill the fuck out for 5 seconds in my life. That would be really cool. I would be so happy. I just want to make silly shit. Draw this monkey man and live. Because for whatever reason I decided that this was what I was going to do with my life and my career, but you know. That's on me, I guess. I did this to myself. I am a cursed individual. Whee! But I'll try to not talk about like ultra fucking philosophical or depressing shit. I'm just not sure how I'm supposed to navigate it because it's like going to therapy can only do so much, you know? And like all you can do is talk with your therapist and be like, yeah, shit's bad, and then all they can do is look back at you and say, yeah, I know. And that's it. Like that's all that they can really do. Prevent you from, you know, doing something really dramatic or drastic, but other than that, it's like that's all they got. Yeah, because I've been there, to be real. Like, that's where I've been at with my therapist for the last, like, decade. So that's been fun. And, like, they've been great help. You know, I've had plenty of amazing therapists. And it's definitely not to discount therapy at all, because my therapist right now is fucking incredible. She's so cool. And she's very nice. But ultimately, like, they can't do anything. And it's like, I'd really love it if we could do something, but goddamn. I went to my like doctor the other day, and he was like, they gave him an AI software to record notes, and he's like, you know, are you cool if I use this to record notes because you can consensually decline? And then he got done with the doctor's appointment, and he was like, yeah, this thing is ass, and it never records the right shit. And I'm like, why are they even making you use it? You know, and the answer is because they want to replace nurses, you know? It's like, oh, cool. And so he's having to just kind of sit there and, like, do what he needs to do to keep his job. But it's like, how do you fucking cope? Super awkward. Okay, I need to remember what color. This song is how I feel about the state of everything right now. I'm trying to not, like, fucking be super depresso espresso about it, but, like, Fucking Brother Ali gets it. And it's tough because I'm like partially excited for Court of Snakes 2 to come out, but then I have to like constantly remind myself that that shit was written because I'm fucking pissed off at America. Oh, this actually doesn't work because I can't see it. Also, everybody should hydrate. We might be fucking dying, but at least we're hydrated. I was joking with a friend yesterday that Court of Snakes, if it ever crossed Ron DeSantis' desk, would get instantly banned in the state of Florida. And if that's not a marketing tagline for the book, I don't know what is. I was like, he would instantly burn it. God damn it. This guy's fucking so right. And this song was written fucking a while ago. This isn't even like modern music either. That's what pisses me off so bad is it's like, it's not even, it's been an issue. They wonder why so much anti-establishmentarian fiction is being written right now, and I'm like, I wonder why. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Good thing I double checked that, because that would have been silly. Oh, damn. Only Youngblood would rhyme martyr with tomato. And it only works in his accent. He was like, hold my beer. I'm about to make the craziest rhyme you ever heard in your whole life. And it's like, Youngblood, what are you doing? He's like, I got a really specific British accent. And I can wield it like a weapon. Oh my god, I'm doing it. Oh my god, I'm making it happen. Now, am I going to get another page done actually on time for once? Is this about to happen? I think the drugs were really fucking with me all. I think that was the vibe, was that the drugs were drugging, you know what I'm saying? And they technically did what they were supposed to do, which is stop me from having seizures, but then also they made it impossible for me to do literally anything else. And now my brain is it's tuned in. I'm clocked in. Alright. There you go. To be fair, I think Heaven's Equal would also get banned, though, too. For a lot of profanity, mostly. But then also, there is a chance that it would get banned for being, like, representative of non-Christian religion. I'm just gonna kind of... that. Also, I didn't have to draw backgrounds on this fucking page. That's really what enabled me to have the need for speed. I do love not having to draw backgrounds, let me tell you. I'm so fast. I am literally the fastest. Zippy! I just start screaming. That's what happens when you make comics, by the way. You just scream. People are like, what do you mean when you say art is pain? And I'm like, it is, though. It's just a lot of yelling. Wendy. Did I give her an earring in this panel? No. almost forgot her earring. That would have been distressing. I gotta draw tears too, I can't forget that shit. I'm gonna need to open up my color pal then, that means... Hello? What the fuck is wrong with you? Photoshop, please. You have literally one job. Photoshop's job is panic. That's, I'm pretty sure, what its job is. It doesn't know how to do anything else other than scream. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Okay. It's tear time. Time for cries. Wow, okay. Wow. You know it's bad. You know it's bad when even Wukong starts crying. Just saying. That's how you know shit's really fucked up. This is the second time he's cried in this comic. The first was because he got the pain zapped into his body. So I don't think that that counts. This is the first time he's actually been emotional and cried. Actually, well... Okay, depression. I kind of am wondering if that was an error. I think I'd like to light this so that there's just some ambient light here. And I guess I'll actually light all of it. Why not? Just give it a little bit because the lighting is kind of strong in this room, so I don't want to just like leave it. I accidentally got rid of the color that I needed. Okay. I'm feeling very productive. Let's see. Hello? My hand was like, baby boop. I'm like, okay. Actually, endure a sift of water. This guy's an icon. And that day passed up. And the feelings. How will you see this? I'm so glad this guy won. Guaranteed this is going to be the wrong... Oh, it's actually the right font, but the wrong size. Louis Hong's an asshole. That's all I gotta say. This guy gets literally everything he deserves. You know, it's a lot of, like, floating text bubbles. The fact that he can hit this shit is insane. This man is insane. And I recognize that this is synthed out, but he can hit these notes live, and that upsets me. I'm actually going to change this dialogue here. Like, what the fuck, JJ? This guy needs to chill out. Okay. Okay, gotta make sure I don't accidentally throw this into the death zone. Why would you do this to me? I don't understand why it just randomly will change the font size. I'm like, are you good? Okay, and then none of this is like bolded, so we're all right. It looks really dark. It's not though. It's just my eyes. Okay, good. I'm dying. Hydrate as I choke. When I say that it is so fucking dry, I really mean it. It hurts me. Okay. All right, come here. Okay, that was, I feel extra zippy. I feel like the Flash. I've never been so zippy in my whole life. Let's see. This font is not right. Like, why does it do this? Oh, this one was fucked up too. Ay, ay, ay. I just need Photoshop to retain the same font size that I used for my last text on the thing. You know what I mean? I'm like, don't randomly change the size. Don't do that. Whoops. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. And I'm on time for my office hours somehow. I almost forgot that I had office hours today. Until literally just now, I realized that I have that. That would have been really unfortunate. So I'm going to go ahead and go. Now that this is done, I am so fucking fast. All right. Amazing. Well. I'm going to go ahead and go. We did a good job. We got this whole page done. Whipped it out. I'm going to be back on Monday, or maybe over the weekend. I don't know. I might do a Jak and Daxter stream over the weekend so we can finish making Jak 2. And that's pretty sweet. Otherwise, I'll see all of y'all on Monday. And that should be good. I'll be back with working more on my Court of Snakes backer kit campaign. So it's going to be a lot more technical stuff again. But it may also be just art. It's going to be a combo of bouncing back and forth between like marketing graphics and finishing up character sprites and stuff so that I can render out the video and all of that stuff. So I will hopefully see all of you then. If not, I'll see you over the weekend. I might stream on Friday or Saturday depending on my schedule. But I hope that you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Thanks again for Luigi for subbing over onto my YouTube. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't checked it out already, you should totally go and watch my YouTube video about gay fairies. Share it with your friends. Be like, look at this gay shit. And in the meantime, I'm going to go do real people work. So, I'll see you later. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Happy birthday, Cal. I'll message you about your stuff. I might need your address again, but I'll let you know. And I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.